as a self-employed dentist, which means that I'm not on a salary. If I don't work, I don't get paid. And that's something that many dental students don't really realize when they first get into working as a dentist. After your foundation year, you're most likely self-employed, unless you're going to the hospital where you're employed. So you start to think about things differently. Your accounting works differently. And that was a big learning curve for me, how it all works being self-employed, doing the self-assessment, the tax returns. And then on top of that, getting to a stage where now I've got a limited company, as well as working as a sole trader. So that makes things even more complicated. And there's always the question of, should I incorporate, should I be a company, a limited company, or should I just continue to earn as a sole trader? So these are some things I'm just going to talk about and how I've navigated through them. So I'll just talk about how it worked for me. I started off as being a sole trader when I was self-employed after my foundation year. So all my income was going into my personal account, and then when tax returns were being done, my accountant would use those figures to work out my tax, NI, all of that, any deductions, all of that would get worked out. So what I found was, as I was becoming more experienced, as I was earning more, I was now going into the higher tax brackets. So a lot of tax was being taken, and about 40-45% around that region. So at a certain point, I got advice, and this is important, having an accountant who you can talk to and a financial advisor to see when the best time to think about having a limited company is. And for me, I had now crossed the 100,000 threshold, and at that point it was now becoming better in my circumstance to think about having a limited company, especially because I'd like to start up my own practice. So what happens is, if you've got a company and all the income goes to the company, you just need to take out what you need to live on. So the company would then pay myself whatever it is that I need to live on month to month, and the rest of the money gets left in the company accounts. Now, corporation tax, much lower than what tax would be if I was simply a sole trader, means that my saving power increases towards then purchasing or starting up a dental practice. So while that all sounds good, it meant that I was actually having less income to actually use month on month, because a lot of the income was being kept in the limited company accounts. But there's a purpose to that. There's a purpose for that amount. So it's just really balancing it out. What can you live on? And what can you afford to save and not have access to? And it's going to be different from person to person. For some people, you may be, let's say, earning over 100,000, but you're not really thinking about owning a practice. And it might be that going limited as a company is not really the best decision for you. So what I can say is, have an accountant, have a financial advisor that you can talk to openly, and they'll be able to let you know when the time is, or if you should become a limited company at all. So for me, Lancashire Smiles is the limited company, and that's how I'm going to be looking to hopefully get my first dental practice. And I'm sure I'll let you guys know about it when it does happen.